प्रभु मिटाना Sai Aradhya, Priyanshi and Swagata. Now we have a semi-classical dance by Ms. Adhyashri Sahu. Please welcome Ms. Adhyashri Sahu on the stage, please.
Jagannath, Shri Jagannath, lakh saro gramo bicha bedi ku chhadi, rakha rudha hai uchi mola Shri Hari. Lakh saro gramo bicha bedi ku chhadi, rakha rudha hai sosa. Saradha bali re dekhi sinadi khosa, jaya Jagannath kahi dui hath ki dei, mod pranam se jau Maharaja kariye, mujhka kariye, mujhka kariye, mujhka kariye, kariye, mujhka kariye, mujhka kariye. बलि जो उठी विभूति हुए, भागुथिले भट होए महतु सागर। बलि जो उठी पंकट रे भासिया से गीत गोविंद। जाति गौरव करे, आनंदरे कहे से इष्ट देवता। लेवी बुझु दुख न कहि भी जानि पारु सकल कथा। हरे हाथ बढ़े मते मेरी कोई, लोड़ा नहीं अब किछि मारा संसार। मजका करिए हरि, मजका करिए, मजका करिए, मजका करिए रे करिए रे। जय श्री महाराज Daru Brahma, Choga Bhuvan Rahi Niti Dhamma, Huye se sakara. Sasa jahi chapana base, mati re mahati jai, disasa re full huye sakara kama, aha bahare thakore, mujhka kariye hare, mujhka kariye hare.
Now let's welcome Ms. Tapaswini and Ms. Lakshmi for a fusion of Bharatanatyam and Odissi.
Chandra Surya Vilakana
What a stellar performance. Divine, sublime. I'm short of adjectives. Now moving on. We are pleased to have His Excellency, Honorable High Commissioner Manish Gupta and his wife, Mrs. Nimisha Gupta, amongst us as our guest of honor. She is in the temple right from the inauguration to the anniversary celebration. Let us welcome him on stage to address the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Good evening. As I stand before you, it's a very auspicious celebration. And I still vividly remember celebration of the inauguration of the Lord Jagannath temple. That was the first time I attended a big public celebration just after the Republic Day with our diaspora community. And I could see the vibes and how much you are proud of your heritage and connected to the motherland. And today, as we celebrate the first anniversary celebrations, it's such a proud moment, long times to come. It's a great day for all of us because ultimately it is also a celebration of a vibrant cultural heritage. And I must say, though our numbers may be small, but our contributions are big. The coming up of the Lord Jagannath temple with the divine blessings, also it goes to the Utkal Ghana Association. When I was looking at the history, when we laid the foundation stone, gone through some of the toughest times in human history when we faced the COVID challenge, but determination of our community, and also the selfless service that we want to do for the betterment of this country, our adopted home. और हम भारतवासियों की एक अच्छी बात है, मातृभूमि तो हमारी भारत में है, पर कर्म भूमि हमारी जहाँ भी रहते हैं वहाँ पर है. And whichever part of the world we have been to, we people excel ourselves with a selfless service and the contributions that we bring to the host communities over here. And I have seen during the last 1 year the way our community works, working with the local Ghanaians, trying to help them in times of need as much as we can do to the best of our abilities. And that really makes us proud. As your representative also, always के साथ assimilation करना बहुत आसान हो जाता है. And today is such a big moment for all of us. My best first visit to West Africa, but I can now one working for the noble cause. And
the reason of our gathering here. We are not qualified to introduce Puja Gajapati Maharaj. However, this is a mere mortal. Maharaj Sri Dibya Singh Dev is the lineal descendant of the erstwhile kings of Odisha, Utkara, who from the 12th century till the middle of the 16th century ruled as the paramount sovereigns over an extensive kingdom on the eastern seaboard of India, stretching from river Ganga in the north to river Godavari in the south. One of the illustrious kings of the dynasty, Maharaja Chodaganga Dev, started the construction of the present magnificent temple of Lord Jagannath at Puri in the beginning of the 12th century, which was completed later by his successor, Maharaj Ananga Bhima Dev. This temple is one of the largest Hindu temples and is regarded as one among the four most sacred shrines for Hindus around the world. Among the four dhams, Sri Jagannath Dham Puri is the principal dham for eastern India, management of the affairs of Sri Jagannath temple. According to the ancient tradition and custom, they perform the ritualistic seva before Lord Jagannath as his Ardhya Sevak and dedicate their entire kingdom with all its resources at the lotus feet of the Lord, the suzerainty first of the Afghans and the Mughals and then the Maratha powers. Their political position finally came to an end in the beginning of the 19th century when they unsuccessfully tried to resist the occupation of their kingdom by the English forces of the East India Company. The Gajapati kings, however, continued to remain in charge of the affairs of Sri Jagannath temple as its sole trustee. After the independence of India, the state government of Orissa enacted a special legislation in 1950. The government, however, retained Sri Gajapati Maharaj as the hereditary chairman of Sri Jagannath Temple Managing Committee, the statutory trust board of the temple. Since Gajapati Maharaj, Sri Divya Singh Dev has been performing the traditional religious seva as Adhya Sevak of Lord Jagannath in the same manner as his predecessors since ancient times. At the same time, he is discharging the statutory duties as chairman of Delhi University and has completed his master's degree in law from Northwestern University in Chicago, USA. In addition to his traditional and statutory duties in Sri Jagannath Temple, Puri, Sri Gajapati Maharaj has been actively engaged over the last 54 years in promoting and participating in innumerable religious and spiritual activities in India and abroad. His wife, Maharani Sahiba Leelavati Pattamahadevi, is from Jammu and is related distantly to the royal family of Jammu and Kashmir. They have been blessed with 4 daughters. Before we move ahead with the further events of the day, we would like to launch the souvenir, our cultural magazine, Daru Brahma. Daru Brahma is not a publication, it is a celebration of art, culture, knowledge, and profound heritage that connects us to our roots. Daru Brahma is a collection of the memories of Utkaraghana Association for the last 20 years and Rath Yatra celebration for the last 15 years. Puja Gajapati Maharaj Sri Sri Divya Singh Dev, His Excellency Honorable High Commissioner Manish Gupta, UGA President Mr. Deepak Kumar Das, Chief Editor Mr. Tapan Kumar Panda, and the editorial board Mrs. Dhanashri Mohapatra, Mr. Mahesh Panigrahi, and Mr. Keshav Panda and Ms. Sandeepa Das to the stage for the launch of Daru Brahma. I would like the audience to stand up and welcome Sri Gajapati Maharaj on stage, who would be enlightening us with the discourse on Lord Jagannath.
नीलाचलनिवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्रसुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरु श्री जगद्गुरु मदात्मा सर्वभूतात्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। उड़िया, हिंदी, इंग्लिश, मेरे ख्याल से अंग्रेजी में ठीक रहेगा, so that everyone can understand. Odia, very few people will understand, and my Hindi is very bad, so I will not try that. This is our first visit to Ghana, as a matter of fact, to the west part of Africa, and we are very happy to be here. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to serve the Lord here in Accra. We are also very obliged to His Excellency, our Consul General Manish Gupta ji, for patronizing the construction and the pratishtha of the Jagannath temple in Accra, and we look forward to his continued support. The Odia community, as I understand, is a very small community, so it is rather bold and courageous of them to construct a temple, which is not a small undertaking at all. Now, we all belong to India, which is the land of spirituality, but sometimes it can get a bit confusing because there are so many gods and goddesses, 33 koti. So mankind as a whole somehow seems to get divided among these gods and goddesses. And humanity, which is actually one family of the one God, somehow splits up into different compartments, and that sometimes unfortunately leads to conflict, dissension. Brahma. Everyone knows about Sri Rama, Sri Krishna, Sri Ganesha, Lord Shiva, Sri Shiva, Devi Durga, no questions. But about this Lord, there can be many, many questions. First of all, look at him. He looks something quite different, doesn't it? Huh? Doesn't resemble any god or goddess in any religion of the world. Am I correct? He's so different. So naturally the question would arise in our mind, who is this now? But his name is quite clear. Jagannath, जो जगत के नाथ हैं. Jagat is the universe as it was, as it is, and as it will be. In all the three periods of time, he is the Lord of the universe, of all creation. So, in a nutshell, when you put all the gods and goddesses together, worshipped in all the religions of the world, in all the faiths of the world, that becomes Lord Jagannath. He is one in all and all in one. He is all inclusive. That is how the name Jagannath. But in the scriptures, the main scripture of Lord Jagannath is Purushottama Kshetra Mahatmya of Skanda Purana. Now Skanda Purana is the largest of our sacred Puranas, composed by Maharshi Vedavyasa, which is the foundation of our Sanatana Vedic Dharma. Maharshi Vedavyasa compiled the Vedas and then the Puranas. So Puranas are actually, let us say, a video show of the Vedic knowledge. And in Skanda Purana, Maharshi Vedavyasa has narrated the Sthala Mahatmya, or the glory of the very, very sacred centers of pilgrimage in India for all the followers of Sanatana Vedic Dharma. And so Shivji के बारे में, उनके जो मुख्य मुख्य पीठ है उनके बारे में, देवी के बारे में, और विष्णु भगवान जी के बारे में. So the portion dealing with Lord Vishnu, the sacred places of pilgrimage of Lord Vishnu, that is known as Vaishnava Khanda. It is in the second part of the Skanda Purana. Skanda Purana, as I said, is the most voluminous. It is even bigger than Srimad Bhagavad Mahapurana, and it is the most authentic exposition of the glory of all our sacred centers of pilgrimage established, known to Sanatana Vedic Dharma since ancient times. So in the Vaishnava Khanda, in the second portion of Vaishnava Khanda, is the narration of the glory of Lord Jagannath. तो जगन्नाथ जी कौन है, उनका महिमा क्या है, ऐतिह्य क्या है, all these things we come to know fully when we study the Purushottama Kshetra Mahatmya. It's also known as Utkal Khanda in the Vaishnava Khanda of Purushottama Kshetra Mahatmya. So let us straight away go into it. ऐसा है कि lot of things are there which are floating around in the media, where people have projected Lord Jagannath in a manner which is not sanctioned by scriptures. So please don't go by everything that is seen in the media. Media is an open book, and everyone who needs to say something, they are free to bring it out. But Sanatana Vedic Dharma, as well as all religions of the world, whether it's Christianity or Islam or Buddha or Jain or Sikh or any religion, is based on scripture. The scriptures are the realized intuitive experience of the great masters, the spiritual masters. the preceptors. And that is the truth. Whether we take up the Bible or the Quran or the Vedic literature, it is the direct experience, spiritual experience of the great saints, which is aparoksha anubhuti, transcending the mind and the intellect. When they enter into the realm of pure spirituality and they have the direct experience of divinity, they know the truth, they know everything. They know what has happened in the past, what is happening in the present, and also what will happen in the future. Trikaladarshi. So Maharshi Vedavyasa was such a Trikaladarshi. So he gave out the truth, and we believe in what Maharshi Vedavyasa has given out to us. And we follow that very faithfully. So in Skanda Purana, we have this complete narration of how Lord Jagannatha manifested and what is the genesis and what is the significance of that manifestation. So let us go straight away into the Skanda Purana and see what Maharshi Vedavyasa has to say. Once again, I would say that for every follower of a religion, any religion, it is the scripture which is to be the basis of our faith, not just anything that anyone says, because we follow the great spiritual masters, because they are the realized saints who have realized the truth, the divine truth, the supreme truth, which we as humble human beings cannot realize, cannot experience. So we go by what they have said. They are the torch bearers of spirituality, and we follow them. This is with every religion, and so also very much so in the Sanatana Vedic Dharma, which actually we can say very proudly is the most ancient of all religions. Rig Veda is the most ancient of spiritual literature known to mankind. So we as Indians should be proud. We are proud of our very, very ancient spiritual lineage and the Vedic culture which we have inherited, and it is for all of us to uphold it, more so when we are ambassadors in a country outside India. We have to promote the Indian culture in the global platform, because it is the Indian culture and the Vedic wisdom which can, in fact, bring about unity in global humanity. That which is dividing humanity into different compartments because of religious and other beliefs can be transcended, and the entire humanity can feel that we are the children of the one God, Vasudeva Kutumbakam, if we delve into our Vedic wisdom. That Vedic wisdom is the great treasure house of Indian literature and Indian culture and Indian heritage. So as descendants of this great culture, I will request each one of you to become ambassadors of our great culture and promote it in the global platform as the medium or as the formula for bringing about universal harmony, for bringing about peace. So let us go and see how Lord Jagannatha and his philosophy and his heritage indicate or lead us to that. We have very little time, so I will run through it very quickly. So we try to finish it in the shortest possible time. So let's see what Maharshi Vedavyasa has to say about Lord Jagannath. The story begins with Maharshi Jaimini. He is one of our great rishis of Vedic times. And in Vedic times, the Gurukula very often would be just under a tree, in a forest. And Maharishi Jayamani, his disciples are all rishis. And they are assembled together in one of their satsangs. And in that satsang, one of the rishis gets up and asks Maharishi Jayamani that, "Oh Maharishi, you have once mentioned about Lord Jagannath. How is it that the Supreme Lord manifested in Purushottam Dham in a wooden form? This is something which we cannot understand. So please explain to us how that happened." So Maharishi Jayamani starts the narration, and that's how the Katha or the legend of Lord Jagannath is revealed to us. So he says that at one time, in ancient time, Lord Shiva was disclosing this to his younger son Kartikeya, Skanda. And then Lord Skanda in the Mandara hill was explaining it to the gods and rishis who were there, and Maharishi Jayamani happened to be there, and he heard it, and that's how he came to know about it. So he says that the origin of the manifestation of Lord Jagannath in that very unique, very different form begins like this. So the Katha begins with Lord Brahma having a question. Now, as you know, as we believe in our Vedic science, the universe is cyclical. Just like day and night, there is creation, and then there is dissolution, then there is creation. Okay? So when there is something happening, there has to be a karta. Just like right now, you have the first anniversary celebration, and on that occasion you are having a Homa Yagya. So for the Homa Yagya, you have a karta, right? For any action, there has to be a doer, a karta. So when there is creation, there has to be a karta. So who is the karta? It is Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma, of course, has been appointed by the Supreme Lord to do that job. So Lord Brahma is creating, and then there is the universe which expands and which is sustained for a very, very long time. And then there has to be an end to it. During the night time of Brahma, there is complete dissolution, and the night of Brahma is equal to the daytime of Brahma. How long that is, we'll just come to it. And then again, Lord Brahma has to create the entire universe, putting everything, all the galaxies, and all the solar systems, and all the planets in their respective places. It's a big job, don't you think so? So Lord Brahma got tired one day, said, "What is this natak? Huh? I have to create, and again it is dissolved, again I have to create. Can there not be an end to it?" So Lord Brahma, of course, is all knowledgeable, all the Vedic wisdom. He is the originator of the Vedas. So he said, well, this creation, the universe, is an effect. It is not the cause. There is a cause. When there is a cause, there has to be an effect. It is logical, scientific. If there is a cause, there has to be an effect. So what is the cause? The cause is our desire. So our karmas, all the actions that we have performed, is within us in the form of subtle desires. That is the cause, and when that desire is there, it has to manifest as an effect. So because actions have been performed in the past, so they'll lead to subtle desires at the cosmic level, and because those desires are there, it has to again come back into creation as the created universe. So he said that can there not be some way where this desire is completely eliminated, everyone is liberated, everyone becomes Jivan Mukta. When there is complete liberation, there is no desire. Liberation is the state of desirelessness. Anyone who's read the Bhagavad Gita will know that, or Srimad Bhagavat. So if everyone is liberated, then there will be no cause for the creation, because there will be no desire to manifest. So can that not be possible? So he said that how can that be possible? So then obviously Lord Brahma knows that there's only one person who can give that answer, that is the Supreme Lord, his master, the Supreme Lord. Now since this katha, this legend is in Vaishnava Khanda, in Vaishnava Khanda the Supreme Lord is Lord Vishnu. Now if you go in the Skanda Purana to the Maheshwara Khanda, then the Supreme Lord is Lord Shiva. Okay. So in other words, it's all the same. In a sense, no difference between Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu and Devi Durga and Lord Ganesha. In a sense, it's all one and the same. So we'll come to that a little later. So he prays to Lord Vishnu because he's the only one who can give him the solution to this question. So when he prays, and obviously Lord Vishnu has to appear, because Lord Brahma is only a creation of Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu appears in Garudaji, as you can see. And of course Lord Vishnu knows what Lord Brahma is praying for, what he is desiring. And Lord Vishnu says that's not possible. That's just not possible. Because this is my law. This is my desire. Why? Because I think Lord gets bored without anything happening, So he has this, like we all like to see movies, right? So the Supreme Lord also likes to see his movie show of the universe, So he says that this is my sort of a creation, and this has to happen. However, he says that I cannot refuse you, because you are born out of me and there's no difference between you and me. So let me reveal to you a secret which you, Brahma, who has created the universe and is all-knowing, even you don't know. So he says that there is a place on the planet Earth, and Lord Vishnu indicates which is that place, which is exactly Purushottam Kshetra, which is Puri. He says, you go there and gradually the secret will be revealed to you, which will answer your question, your curiosity will be satisfied. And then Lord Vishnu disappears. So Lord Brahma comes running. Instantly he reaches Purushottam Kshetra, and following the directions of Lord Vishnu comes to the place. The place is none other than Puri, modern Puri. Actually, Puri means place. It is a short form for Jagannath Puri or Purushottam Puri. The real name is Purushottam Puri or Jagannath Puri. Puri means place, okay? Nagpur or Mayapuri. So the Britishers, when they came, they made everything very convenient for themselves, So Jagannath Puri is sounding very long. So Puri, and they pronounce it P-O-O-R-E-E, okay? So in their English manner. So anyway, we stuck to Puri, but Lord Jagannath came to this Purushottam Kshetra and then reached the place which Lord Vishnu had indicated. It's a huge mountain looking like blue. So it's called Nila Parvata or Nilagiri. And on the very top of that, there's a huge banyan tree. And there is near the tree, there is a big sarovara called Rohini Sarovara, which is the causal waters. When everything goes into dissolution, it goes into those waters, so to say. And between the two, under the shade of this huge banyan tree, is Lord Vishnu. He is in the form of Nila Mani Vigraha, sapphire, blue gemstone, looking like that. And he is not alone. He is Mahalakshmi to his left, and behind him is Shesha Ananta, covering him from the top, and in front is Lord Garudji and Sudarshan Chakra, both having human forms, four arms, Shankh Chakra Gadadhari, human forms, worshipping the Lord. And it's all very dense forest, and no one knows about it. Even Lord Brahma did not know that this ever existed. So he's coming, so, oh Lord, this is the same Lord I saw there, and the Lord I know in Vaikuntha, and I see him here. And he starts worshipping. Just then, from somewhere, a crow comes flying, very tired, and is thirsty and tired, so it takes a dip in the water of Rohini Sarovar, and then looks up and sees the Lord. And the Lord is Vishnu, Shankha Chakra Gadadhari. In the scriptures, he's called as Madhava, and because his Nilamani looking like blue, he's called Nilamadhava also. So the crow has a darshan of Madhava and immediately takes form like Lord Vishnu and goes to the side of Vishnu. Now Brahma is completely dumbfounded. What is this? A creature who is considered lowly, definitely not having any wisdom, so to say, no spiritual attainments. Even a lowly creature like a crow attains liberation just by having darshan of the Lord. Oh, I got it now. So I will now spread the word. People will come, everyone, all creatures of the world, they will have darshan of the Lord, they'll get liberated. So once liberation, the cause is gone. When the cause is gone, the effect is gone. So when everyone is liberated, no more creation for me to do, no hard work for me to do. Okay, my job will come to an end, and I'll be maja free, on holiday. So as Brahmaji is celebrating, who comes? Yamaraj comes, very worried, very anxious, and comes and says, "Oh Lord, what have you done? My jurisdiction will go. If there is no one going to death, because everyone is liberated, means they don't go to death. You go to death means there is again birth. Death means again birth. But they are liberated, no death, so no birth. So where is my job? If everyone gets liberated and they're gone, I have no one to look after. So my department closes down. Why have you appointed me?" That's a good question. Now Lord Vishnu is confused. Not confused, I would say. He is very tactful, he is very diplomatic. He can be the guru of IFS, I think. So as it happens, when the husband is confused, he passes the buck to the wife. That's why the wife is called the better half, So Lord Vishnu gives a side glance to Lord Devi Mahalakshmi. Mahalakshmi knows that she has to do the job now, somehow to resolve this issue. Lord Brahma is wanting something, and Lord Yama is wanting something totally different. So Mahalakshmi says, "Look, Lord Yama, what you are suggesting is just not possible." Why? Because this is our home. How can we leave this? This is our, just like in Vaikuntha is eternal dham, Nitya dham of ours, Vishnu and Mahalakshmi. So on this planet Earth, this is our Nitya dham. We never leave it. So even when there is the complete dissolution, that is, the daytime of Lord Brahma is the time when the yugas are happening one after the other. We have how many yugas? 4. You know which the yugas are? You know the names? So these yugas happen in cycle, okay? Which yuga are we in now? Good, I'm glad. How many years is Kali Yuga? 4,32,000. Okay, I'm glad you know all that. It saves me the hard work. So now after Kali Yuga, you have which one? Satya. Satyuga is 4 times of Kali Yuga, the number of years. And then Treta is 3 times the number of years, and Dwapar is 2 times. So if you put all of them together, it comes to 4 crores 32 lakhs, if I'm not mistaken. One Chaturyuga. So when these Chaturyugas have gone 71 times, that is a time of one Manu. One Manvantara is gone. So there are 14 Manus who come one after the other, and when 14 Manus have gone, that is one day of Lord Brahma. When one day is gone, then the night time of Brahma, complete dissolution, which is equal in time period to the day of Brahma. So Mahalakshmi says that when there is complete dissolution during the night time of Brahma, even then we do not leave this place. We are here. Oh sorry, I forgot this slide. This is Lord Brahma and Yamaraj having their discourse with Lord Nilamadhava. You can see Lord Nilamadhava, Mahalakshmi, Sheshananta behind, the Kalpavriksha over them, and Garudji, and Garudji kneeling down, at the feet of Lord Vishnu, and Sudarshan Chakra with a human form there, and Lord Brahma and Yamaraj having their discourse with Lord Madhava. So Devi Mahalakshmi is explaining that when there is complete dissolution, we were here, Lord Vishnu and I was in his heart place, and this Vriksha was there, and there was complete dissolution, and Maharshi Markandeya, who is Chiranjeevi, who has got the lifetime of 7 kalpas, 7 days of Lord Brahma, his boon, he could not find any place to rest because there was nothing to hold on to, because complete dissolution. He found us. So just to indicate that even during the complete dissolution of the universe, we don't go from this place. So how do you expect us to ever leave this place? So we are here. However, we cannot refuse you, because between you, Lord Yama, and Lord Brahma, there is no difference. Both of you are the same to us. So what will happen is this now, that to satisfy you, we will disappear in this form. And since we cannot leave this place, we will again re-manifest in another form, in another yuga. There will be the king, emperor rather, called Indradumna. Through his devotion and tapasya, we will again re-manifest in another form. And of course, right now, there is this Darshanat Mukti. Then there will be liberation, but in a graded form, It won't be like darshan kar liye. देखिए जी, हम लोग सब, we all go to the temple so many times. Are we liberated? No. There has to be another darshan, an internal darshan, along with the external darshan of the Lord in the physical form. There has to be darshan of the real divine subtlest God within us to achieve liberation. So the Lord says, or Mahalakshmi says, that we will assume another form, and that will happen later on. We will not leave this place, but we will change our appearance. So this ends the first part of the Katha, which is very important, which explains why and how Lord Vishnu, who was in Purushottam Kshetra, in a very unknown manner, unknown to the world, unknown to Lord Brahma, decides to give up that form and reappear in another form. Now this will now take us to the time of Maharaja Indradumna. Now Maharaja Indradumna, he was the emperor of the known world, and this is the time period of the first Manu, the first Manvantar, and the name of the Manu is Swayambhava Manu. In this first day of Brahma, we are all in the first day of Lord Brahma, the 51st day of Lord Brahma. The first 50 years of this Lord Brahma has been completed. And during the first 50 years of this Lord Brahma, the Supreme Lord was in Purushottama Kshetra as Nilamadhava. Now when the 50 years is completed and the 51st year, which is now, has begun, in the beginning of this 51st year, in the very dawn of the 51st year, that is the first time of the first Manu, is the time of Maharaja Indradumna in the Satya Yuga of the second Chatur Yuga. Okay, now don't get confused. We are in the time period of the seventh Manu, somewhere in the noon time of this first day of Lord Brahma. The date is called Kalpa, and the name of this Kalpa is Svetavaraha Kalpa, the first day of 51st day of Lord Brahma. We are in the mid time, the seventh Manu. As I said, there are 14 Manus to complete the day. So seventh Manu means we are around noon time of the 51st day of Lord Brahma. And now we have to go back to the first Manu. And at that time, and this is Satya Yuga, mind you, Satya Yuga. What is not possible in Kali Yuga is possible in Satya Yuga. You know, there's a lot of divinity still prevalent on this earth plane. So then the known world was ruled by this Maharaja Indradumna. He was the sovereign, paramount sovereign of the known world. And all the kings were subservient and feudatories to Maharaja Indradumna and serving him. His capital was not Odisha, not, but where? Yes, correct. It was Ujjain, which was known in ancient time as ancient name of Ujjain, Avanti Nagari, correct. Oh, you are all very knowledgeable. So Avanti was the capital of Malwa Desha, which was the essential kingdom of Maharaja Indradumna. So he was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu, and he was an ideal ruler, and having conquered everything, he had no other desire except to have darshan of the Lord. Oh, this is the time period of the Manus. This is just to show where we are, so I'll just skip this. Now this is where Avanti Nagari is. You can see that little dot there, and you can also see where Jagannath Puri is. They're very far off. Okay. Avanti Nagari, Ujjain is now in Madhya Pradesh, what is now Madhya Pradesh. And of course, Jagannath Puri is what is now in Odisha, which was known in ancient time as Utkala or Kalinga. So one fine day when Maharaja Indradumna is doing his worship in the temple in his capital, Avanti Nagari, temple of Lord Vishnu and Mahalakshmi, he's finished his worship and has just come out and to the main satsang hall, the main auditorium, which is crowded with the Vedic priests and saints and pilgrims. People who have gone on pilgrimage to all the great religious places. They were all gathered there, and Maharaja Indradumna asked them that, can you tell me one place where I can have darshan of the Lord himself? Not the Lord in the form of Murti, not Pratima, but the Lord himself. Directly, I would like to have his darshan with my physical eyes. So please tell me this place, because I have achieved everything that I need to achieve. I have no other desire except to have darshan of the Lord and to serve him for the rest of my life. This is my only wish now. So how can this be possible? So the priest, the chief priest, poses this question to the audience. Everyone is silent because no one knows where the Lord is, you know. So Lord, not in Pratima form, not in Murti. See, Murti is made by the human beings, right? उनका हम प्रतिष्ठा करते हैं, consecrate करते हैं. But the Lord Himself, there is no consecration because the Lord Himself is there. So where is He? Somehow in the crowd, one person with a lot of jata gets up and says, "Oh King, I know this place because I have stayed there for some time and I have heard about it. And that is where the Lord dwells, the Lord Himself." And then he describes Purushottama Kshetra, exactly where Lord Brahma had gone. And he says that that is where the Lord is. And describing that location and about the place Purushottama Kshetra, after that, this person suddenly disappears. So the king everyone is surprised that this is a divine incidents. So this is Lord's message to us. So it has to be correct. This is a divine phenomena that has happened here. So the king tells his priest that, "Oh priest, this is my only wish. Please see how it can be fulfilled. Send the emissaries to that place to locate that place and come back with the news. Then we all go and worship the Lord and serve the Lord." So the priest says, "Don't worry, O king, I will send all my emissaries, including my younger brother, whose name is Vidyapati, to locate that place." So they all go in different directions, and Vidyapati, the younger brother of the royal priest, is the one who comes exactly to Purushottama Kshetra. He reaches there and sees the big, huge mountain, Nila Parvata, and the old Jatadhari old person had described. So he says, "Oh, this is the one. Big mountain, yes, this is the one." But he cannot find the way up the mountain. Everything is so dense and there is no way. He's tired. He lies down under a tree wondering what to do. Then suddenly he hears some voices. Someone discussing about Lord Vishnu. So, "Oh, they're devotees of Lord Vishnu." And he goes there and he sees a hermitage, a village of tribal people. It's called Savara Dipika, the Savara tribes. And then he sees them, very, very, very devotional people. He sees them, and then suddenly an old person is coming down the mountain, looking very saintly. So this old person comes and meets Vidyapati and introduces himself. "Oh, I am Viswavasu. I am the chief of this tribal community. And you look like a priest, you look like a Brahmin. Who are you and why are you here?" Then Vidyapati introduces himself, and then the tribal chief Viswasu says, "Look, you are very tired and you don't seem to have eaten anything. Please come to my home and eat something." So he takes him home and serves him a lot of food. But Vidyapati says, "No, I am not going to take any food because I am on a special mission. Maharaja Indradumna has directed me to have darshan of the Lord, and I will not eat anything until I have darshan of the Lord." Now this Viswavasu, the tribal chief, is in a quandary because he had been told by his ancestors that if the location of the Lord becomes known to anyone outside, the Lord will disappear. But then he had also been told that then this great king Indradumna, because of his tapasya, Lord will again reappear. And he says that, "Look, I can't refuse this Brahmin because he is the emissary and the priest of the great king Indradumna, who is known to all of us." So he says, "All right, I will take you there." So immediately they get up, and the Viswavasu leads the way It's a very secret way, very narrow way, with a lot of stones and thorns and a lot of wild animals and all that. So they said, let's go quickly because we have to be there while there's still daytime. They climb up the mountain, reach the mountain top, and there they have darshan of the Lord. So that's Biswavasu, and that's Vidyapati having darshan of Lord Madhava. Vidyapati prays and gets a spiritual glow by having darshan, gets fully liberated. And Biswavasu gives the garland from the Lord to Vidyapati, and they said, let's go down because it's getting dark and there are a lot of wild animals here. It's not safe for us to remain, so let's go down quickly. They come down, night, then they have prasadam and all that, and Vidyapati is startled that, look, you are living in the forest, you are supposed to be living on fruits and berries. How is it that you're having such divine prasadam, so many varieties? Then the tribal chief explains, look, these are all offerings made by the gods. So I go up and I see all the gods and goddesses coming from their different lokas. Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, Indradeva, Vayudeva, Agnideva. They all come to worship Lord Purushottama because he is the Supreme Lord. And they bring all these offerings to him and worship him. And having worshipped him, they go back to the different lokas, and when they've gone back, I go and bring all this to the village, and we all have the prasada. And because we have this Lord's prasada, we live for a long time without disease and without any sorrow or any anxiety, and we're very happy. So the Brahmin stays the night there, and the next morning he says that I have to go back to give this good news to the emperor. I will go, and they all go and have a bath in the sea, Mahodadhi, again go up and have darshan of the Lord, and then the Brahmin leaves Purushottama Kshetra headed for Avantinagari, which is a long way off. Now as he leaves that same day, there is a huge sandstorm. The sky becomes overcast and the sand covers up the place, and this place of Lord Madhava gets covered up with sand, and there is nothing seen except the banyan vriksha. The vriksha, kalpa vriksha remains, everything else becomes unseen. This is of course not known to anyone outside. And now in the meantime, Vidyapati has reached the Avantinagari, is escorted to the audience of Maharaja Indradumna, who is waiting anxiously, and he asks Vidyapati, what have you seen, where have you been? And Vidyapati narrates the entire thing about his darshan of Lord Nilamadhava, and that the Supreme Lord resides there. And then he gives the Nirmalya garland to the emperor, who again feels a spiritual vibration by the contact with the Nirmalya, the Lord's garland, and says, okay, so that's it, let's all go there now. That's my only wish. So those who wish to come accompany me are welcome. Everyone in the kingdom are free to come, to go and stay, live the rest of the lives in Purushottam Kshetra to serve the Lord, because this is the only thing I wish to do. Just as they are contemplating on this, who comes there? Who comes there? Devrishi Narada. He is sent by Lord Brahma. Devrishi Narada is son of Lord Brahma, because Lord Brahma knows that if Devrishi Narada does not go and help Maharaja Indradumna, Indradumna will have a major problem, because Lord Madhava is no longer there. So this guy is going to collapse. Brahmaji knows that. So he sends Devrishi Narada, go and see that everything is fine. So Devrishi Narada arrives there, and Maharaja Indradumna of course receives him and does puja and all that. And Devrishi Narada says that, look, Lord Brahma has sent me to take you to this Purushottam Kshetra, and to see that everything is auspicious. Maharaja Indradumna feels that his mission is definitely going to be accomplished. They spend the night and the next morning they all leave. The entire retinue, the army, all the different categories of the society, all the queens and everyone goes in a huge, procession from Avanti Nagari towards Purushottama Kshetra. So, this Devrishi Narada who has come there, and Maharaja Indradumna is receiving him, and then they proceed to Purushottama Kshetra. The journey is long, and they go through a Kamara Kshetra and all that, cross the Mahanadi, and then as they have crossed the Mahanadi and approaching Purushottama Kshetra, and in the evening they are having their satsang. The king of Utkala, now his name is not written here, he is known as the Utkala Naresha. He comes there and greets Maharaja Indradumna, because as I said, Maharaja Indradumna is the paramount sovereign ruler of the known world at that point of time, and all the kings are sort of subservient to him. So also the king of Utkala, and Utkala king comes and greets him, and then the king of Utkala leads him towards Purushottama Kshetra. Now when they reach the Kshetra, Devrishi Narada knows that the time has come to reveal the difficult truth to Maharaja Indradumna, that the Lord is no longer there. So when it is time to go up to Niladri mountain to have darshan, just before that Devrishi Narada reveals the secret to the king, and the king immediately collapses, becomes unconscious. So Devrishi Narada, through his divine powers, keeps the king alive and then makes him regain his consciousness. So when the king regains his consciousness, he says that, look, I don't want to live anymore, because the whole purpose of my life was to have darshan of the Lord and to serve the Lord. If that's not going to be accomplished, then there's no meaning of my life. I am going to stay here and fast unto death. I don't want to live anymore. Then Devrishi Narada says that no, this is not how it's going to be. This is exactly what Lord Brahma has asked me to tell you, has directed me to tell you, that look, you have to perform 1,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas in this very place. And because of your devotion, the Lord will manifest, you will have darshan of the Lord, and the Lord will shower His mercy upon the entire universe and the humanity on this planet Earth. So the Lord will re-manifest. So this is the direction of Lord Brahma, and you have to do it. So let us now go up and have darshan of the place where the Lord is. So Devrishi Narada takes Indradumna to the place where Lord... So here the Devrishi Narada is telling what Lord Brahma has told him, that the Lord will re-manifest and you have to do the Ashwamedha Yajna. Then they go up to the top of the Niladri mountain, and Devrishi Narada shows the place where Lord Madhava, Mahalakshmi, Shesha Ananta, Garudji and Sudarshanji were there, and they have darshan. And then they come down, and as per the direction of Devrishi Narada, the king, Maharaja Indradumna, performs the Ashwamedha Yajna, 1,000 Ashwamedha Yajnas. Now remember, this is the Satya Yuga, so all this is possible. 1,000 Ashwamedha Yajna means 1,000 years, okay? And in this Ashwamedha Yajna, all the gods and goddesses are invited from the different lokas. All the great rishis, maharishis are all invited. All the kings are invited. You know, it's a huge thing. And where does this happen? Now, who has been to Puri? Please raise your hand. Okay, good number of people. Now, those who have been to Puri, have you been to Gundicha temple? Raise your hands. Okay. Now, this Gundicha temple was not existing, of course, at that time, because the Satya Yuga in the first Manvantar. But somewhere near there, this great Ashwamedha Yajna took place. And it was completely presided over by Devrishi Narada, and everything, of course, was perfectly done. And as this Ashwamedha Yajna is getting completed, then this is the Yajna going, the Maharaja Indradyumna and the Maharani is there. Now the scripture does not give us the name of the Maharani, so we don't know. But in a Yajna, in a Vedic Yajna, it is important that the better half has to be there. So as Deepak will stand guarantee for that, in his Yajna, Homa Yajna, both of them are sitting as Karta and Kartri. That is our Vedic tradition. Both husband and wife have to be there. There is no difference in their roles. Both are given equal status. That is our Vedic culture. In fact, if you go back a little bit more, you'll find that the women have got a higher status. Okay, I will not go into that at the moment. So as the 1000 Ashwamedha Yajnas are getting complete, in his seat of meditation in the dawn, early dawn, Maharaja Indradyumna has this vision of Lord Vishnu and Mahalakshmi in Shweta Dvipa, that is in Vaikuntha. And when he has that vision, he is totally, gets into a trance and has a divine experience. And he tells this next morning to Devrishi Narada. Then Devrishi Narada said, look, this is an indication that the divine manifestation is going to happen very soon. So sometime after that, when the Ashwamedha Yajna is completing, and the king and the retinue and all those people have to go to the ghat to have a bath. A royal ghat is there on the seashore. The servants who are there preparing the place for the sacred bath, they come running to the king. They say, "Oh king, there's something very fascinating. We are suddenly watching a huge thing looking like a tree, a huge tree which is reddish in color and glowing as if like the sun. Its roots are upwards and its branches are deep down. We do not know how big it is. And it is floating. Suddenly it's appeared in the ocean. So we do not know what it is. It looks so divine." So Devrishi Narada says, yes, this is the manifestation, so let's go there. So the Maharaja Indradyumna, Devrishi reached there, and Devrishi Narada says, well, this is the divine manifestation. You bring this tree, place it on an altar and worship. So they do that. They bring the tree onto the huge altar and start worshipping it. But then the king asks Devrishi Narada that, look, we have to have an image of the Lord. So how do we make an image of the Lord out of this tree? Now this tree has 4 branches, okay? One tree with 4 branches. So before Lord Narada, Devrishi Narada could explain, there is an aerial voice, a divine voice from the heavens saying that, look, an old person will come looking like a carpenter. You let him do the job. You first of all cover up this platform completely so nothing is seen outside. And for 15 days, it should not be opened. And a lot of music should be played outside so that the sound from the inside is not heard outside. And no one should open this for 15 days. So then Devrishi Narada said that this is the divine direction and that has to be done. So by and by an old person comes and prays to the king, "O king, let me do the carving." The king says, "Yes, this is what we have been waiting for, so please go in." So the old man goes in and they close the chamber completely. Everything is closed. No one knows what's happening inside. There's a lot of sound being played outside, so no one knows what's happening inside. On the 15th day, when they open, what do they see? They see the Lord as we see them now, more or less. but they are not fully finished. In the wooden shape of the lords are there, and then again the divine voice says that, look, immediately cover up this image with the bark of the same tree, and then put various layers of traditional ointments, etc., to complete the image. The divine voice gives the direction, and then people can have darshan. So the king does accordingly, and then the lords takes this form that we see them now. So this is really, really confusing. It is something beyond our human intellect, human logic and reasoning. How and why the Lord appeared in this? Who was the person who carved the images in this way? And the divine voice telling how this has to be evolved. All this is very, very confusing. But then if we go to our Shastras, we get the explanation. For instance, in the Vedas, the last portion of the Vedas, each Veda has got the Jnana Kanda, which consists of the Upanishads, which is the philosophical part or the spiritual wisdom knowledge of the Vedic science. So in one of them, in this Upanishad, it is written in Svetasvatara Upanishad, Apani Pado Yavano Grahita, etc., which means he, the Supreme Being, is without hands, feet, and yet moves and grasps. He sees, though without eyes. He hears, though without ears. He knows whatever is to be known, and of him there is no knower. They speak of him as the first, the Purusha, and the great. Similarly, in Kaivalya Upanishad also there is a similar stanza, Apani Pado Ham Achinta Shaktihi, which in English transliterates as, I am without hands and legs, of incomprehensive power. I see without eyes, hear without ears, devoid of all forms. I am knowing everything, and there is none that knows me. I am ever pure knowledge. So like this, there are several indications which indicates that the Supreme Lord, he manifests with form only for our sake. You know, we humans interact with the world outside through our intellect, right? Through our mind, right? The mind or the intellect needs form. Without form, the mind cannot hold. The mind cannot fix. The mind cannot stay. The mind needs object. The mind needs form. You tell the mind to fix on blank, on void, it will not fix. At our level, that is to say. At the level of the realized saint or the liberated, it's a different story. But for us, ordinary human beings, mind needs an object. Okay? So when you have an object, the object has to have a name. So Nama Rupa becomes essential for our worship. Without Nama Rupa, we cannot worship. We cannot relate to the God. We are, as human beings, and humanity or the human beings are the top of the creative cycle on this planet Earth. Okay? And we as human beings are the sole creatures who can relate to God, who can worship God. As such, in this Kali Yuga, neither the elephant nor the bird can do that. But we humans, having been blessed by human birth through countless previous satkarmas, good karmas done by us in many, many births, through many, many other forms, we have been blessed by this human birth, by the grace of the Lord. And therefore, to worship God, we need a name and form. So the Lord, out of compassion, manifests as name and form, but in reality, he is all forms and he is also beyond all forms. Okay? So in Sanatana Vedic Dharma, this is a beautiful philosophy that it is all inclusive. I am born in a family of Devi Upasana, you know, my mother, my father, they are Devi Bhakta. They worship Lord Durga. So I become a Devi Bhakta. If I am born in a family of Shaiva worshippers, I am a Shiva Bhakta. So I'll worship Lord Shiva or a Shivlinga, right? So Vishnu, Lord Rama or Lord Krishna. But then there are others who would feel that, well, the Lord is omnipresent. He is beyond all forms. I would like to worship Lord in the formless state. So that's also fine. Okay? So in Sanatana Vedic Dharma, we have Saguna Upasana and also Nirguna Nirakara Upasana. Because we feel and we believe that everyone is unique. Every human individual is unique. Everyone is a child of God and everyone is equally qualified, eligible to worship Him in his or her own way. No one is excluded. So we don't have a straitjacket approach to religion or spirituality. Straitjacket means commandment. Do this, don't do that. You know, either this or not at all. This is the only way. No. We say that there can be many ways to the Lord. Jato mat tato pat. You know. So all ways will lead to the God, provided you are going in that direction. You know. In the Himalayas, there are many ways to the mountain top. You can go through the easier path, you can go through the rough path, you can go through the steep path. Once you reach the top, it's all the same, right? So, Sanatana Vedic Dharma therefore believes that all religions, all faiths lead to the one God. God is one, just like the mountain top, Mount Everest, the top is one. So the paths can be many, so suiting to our individual requirement. So depending to our inclination, our temperament, our aptitude, we can worship the Lord in any way. So here the Lord has come up in such a way that He is worshipped by one and all. We'll come to that a little later. Because He has taken a form which does not fit into any category, any denomination, any particular stereotype. So He becomes all, you know. We'll come to that a little later, but let's go back to the story. So here then Devrishi Narada said, the Lord has manifested. Now the time has come for you to make a beautiful temple of the Lord. And then the Akashvani also said that the temple has to be 1,000 cubits high. How much is that? That is 1,500 feet high. Now mind you, this is Satya Yuga. Okay? So the first temple of Lord Jagannath, the Adi temple, was built by Maharaja Indradumna in the Satya Yuga, in the first Manvantar, and that temple is 1,500 feet high. Okay? So for that, Maharaja Indradumna got all the kings to participate. Everyone participated of the known world. And he said, all my wealth which is there acquired is all now used for this purpose. So the temple construction begins in the same place where the banyan tree is, the same top of the Niladri mountain. Now, of course, that mountain is no longer there, but you can make out that it's on a hill. The present temple, those who have gone there, we have the Baisi Pacha leading from the Bardanda, from the Grand Road. So it's on a high ground. But in the Satyuga, when Maharaja Indradumna was there, it was a huge mountain, and on top of the mountain was this huge magnificent temple which was being built. So once the temple was being built, then Devrishi Narada said that, look, now the time has come for the pratishtha of the temple, installation of the Lord, and who's going to do it? None other than Lord Brahma. Because this is the Supreme Lord Himself who has manifested. It is not a pratima of the Lord. Now mind you, I'll come back to that. It is not a pratima, it's not an image of the Lord. It is the Lord himself. Okay. How it is, we will just find out in a little while. So he said that none other than Lord Brahma is competent to install the Supreme Lord in the temple. So I am going up to Brahma Loka to invite him. Then and Maharaja Indradumna falls at the feet of Devrishi Narada and says that, look, I am the Karta. So I must go up and invite him too. I am having a human body. So only by your grace, Devrishi Narada, it will become possible. So Devrishi Narada said, look, you have done Ashwamedha Yajna and you have purified yourself and therefore you are qualified, so I will take you with me. So through Devrishi Narada's divine power, Maharaja Indradumna goes to Brahma. Gandharvas are playing the music and the dance is going on. So Devrishi Narada brings Indradumna to the court of Lord Brahma. When all the music and all that has stopped, Devrishi Narada introduces Indradumna, and of course Lord Brahma knows everything. He said, yes, 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 I know. So he welcomes Indradumna and says, okay, now you go down as soon as possible, make arrangements for the Pratishtha, and the gods will go down and help you, and I will come by and by when everything is ready. So, but mind you, Lord Brahma says that the time period in Brahmaloka is different from the time period in the universe. So while you have come up here, a lot of time has gone by. One full Manvantar has gone by, and now the second Manvantar has started. What does it mean? Now we were in the first Manvantar, Swayambhuva Manu, and the first Manvantar of 71 Chaturyugas has finished. So all your progeny, all your kingdom, everything gone. 71 Chaturyugas, you know. And second Manvantara of Swaruchi Manu has begun, but you go down and you make arrangements and I will come. So Maharaja Indradumna goes down, he's wondering, one whole Manvantara is gone, whether temple is there or someone else has conquered my kingdom, what has happened? So when he goes there, he's surprised, oh, the temple is still there. And looking very beautiful. And then, but he finds that there is some other god which has been established there in the temple. One Madhava Lord has been established because in this Manvantar, the king of Utkala, his name is given there as King Gala. King Gala has established Lord Madhava and is worshipping. So now Indradumna has to make arrangements for the Pratishtha. So as he is making arrangements, King Gala hears about Maharaja Indradumna making arrangements for bringing some lord and putting in the temple. So Gala gets angry. He says, my lord is there, I put Madhava there. Who is this now? I will go and throw him out. So he comes with his army. But when he comes there to Purushottam Kshetra, he sees Emperor Indradumna, sees all the magical things happening there, all the great saints there, and the great rishis there serving him, and all the kings there serving him. So then he comes to hear about Lord Indradumna and says, no, I made a mistake. So I should be serving him rather than fighting him. So he comes, introduces himself and says that, please give me seva, I will be there to serve you. And actually the king then the king of Utkal takes a leading role in all the arrangements and makes all the arrangements. So the arrangements are made, and when the arrangements are made, 3 big chariots are constructed as per Devrishi Narada's direction. And mind you, the Lord has manifested where? Near Gundicha temple, right? The Lords are there in that mandap. There's no temple there at that point of time. So the 3 chariots are made, lords are placed on the chariots, And the chariots are huge chariots, not the type of chariots we have now. Those are huge chariots made of gold in Satyuga. This is the Satyuga of the second Manvantar. And the Lord and chariots are then pulled to the new temple, Adi temple. And the chariots are there in front of the temple. And then Lord Brahma comes in his chariot and reaches there and then goes up each chariot and prays to the Lord, each Lord. So here you can see him praying to Lord Jagannath. Devrishi Narada is there. So after Lord Brahma prays to each of the lords and each of the chariots, then the lords are taken inside and installed by Lord Brahma himself. So when the lords are installed and then Lord Brahma chants a mantra of the Lord suddenly assumes this form of Lord Nrsimha. All the three gods become one. You can see Lord Nrsimha, that is Lord Vishnu, and above him Shesha Ananta, that is Balram. Above him is Shesha Ananta, and on his lap Mahalakshmi, that is Devi Subhadra. Okay, all three become one form, and they are looking very fierce. Nrsimha Avatara, very fierce. And the entire place starts vibrating and shaking. Obviously, everyone is confused. Of course, Lord Brahma knows what's happening, but everyone else is confused. And Maharaja Indradumna is frightened, shaking at this terrible sight. Then Maharaja Indradumna prays to Lord Brahma, "Oh Lord, I'm frightened. Please make the lords resume their previous very peaceful appearance because I'm frightened with this very terrible appearance of Lord Nrsimha." Then Lord Brahma again chants mantras and the lords resume their Chaturdha Vigraha wooden form. But then Maharaja Indradumna is confused. Why is it that the wooden form of the lords became so terrible and fierce? Then Lord Brahma gives out the secret. Now here, my friends, is the real essence of Lord Jagannath, given out by none other than Lord Brahma. Who is Lord Jagannath? Lord Brahma explains to Indradumna. I will read it out. The original, of course, is in Sanskrit. This is the English translation. Lord Brahma is speaking to Indradumna. He says, "Thinking it is a wooden image, O preeminent king, let there not be the idea in you that